then. All right, so let's first just talk about a bunch of stuff. I guess first of all, why did you decide to get the coaching?
Well, because I need some consistency. Because sometimes I just don't know what to do, like, and I autopilot a lot, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble with jungle tracking.
Okay. I mean, I think jungle tracking is something you definitely should start being aware of in your elo, like in platinum. But it's not something you really need to win games, right? Like when I see your stats here, you have some games, especially recently, with good CS numbers as well as good stats. I think those are like the most important things to just get you to a diamond. I'm assuming diamond is your goal probably this
Yeah,
season.
yeah, yeah, it would be nice.
So yeah, I mean, you told me right before the session you were down to like platinum 4 from platinum 2. Now you're already back up a bit.
Yeah, yeah, true.
And I think, of course, if you keep playing, and especially if you keep playing this well, then I'm sure you can easily achieve it. But of course, we'll see what
Yeah,
kind
but
of mistakes you're usually doing.
yeah, like that. Those last two games, I've never smurfed so hard. So it's
Hmm.
like 1 in 100 game, I think.
Yeah, and it was also after like quite a break, right? I mean, or like you've been playing much better ever since you took a break for a week, or were
Yeah,
you playing on another account?
Yeah, I was really tilted,
No,
so
but
I
that's
needed a
good,
break.
right? Yeah, and I mean it helps me as well. Oftentimes I feel like you've won like how many games are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like 7 out of 8. Yeah, okay, I could have just looked here. I'm stupid. Yeah, let me also share my screen in a second. But first, just a couple more questions. I guess what would you say are your biggest weaknesses? Of course, you said inconsistency, but maybe other like would you say your strength are in the mechanics or yeah, like
I think just my early game. I think my early game is I gank a lot, and they don't expect it.
what kind of pathing do you take usually?
Yeah, I just started with the Raptors pathing,
And it has
single line.
worked well for you, I guess.
Yeah, it feels really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think everyone should do it. Like, there, honestly, all the high elo junglers are doing it on every jungle that can do it. Right? I also played some Nico today, and she can do it really well as well. Like most of the junglers, like it's almost as if being able to do this pathing is right now kind of deciding the strength of the junglers as well. Right? Like a lot of good junglers like Hecarim or whoever can also do it. So it's just a very strong path, and people have started realizing it more and more. I feel like.
True. And so what I need to work on is like using my proto belt a lot,
Mm-hmm.
because
So
I
what
lost it
you
first.
don't use it enough, or you use it not
Yeah,
very
I
efficiently?
yeah, I don't use it enough.
Okay.
I just forget I got it.
Okay. Well, I mean, isn't it like when you sometimes feel like you won't be able to get in range, aren't you gonna just use it then?
Yeah, true, but it feels a bit strange, but like, because I never played with actives.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just started with Echo. Before that, I played Autopilot Champions,
Are those like
late
your
land champions.
first 185 games of
Yeah,
Echo? Okay.
yeah.
All right. I mean, you
But
seem
like
to get the hang of it
that,
pretty quickly.
that's yeah, that's normal in flex as well.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, it's quite a lot of them. I mean, I guess it's kind of good that you're not maybe holding your teammates back. I personally just whip out the champs in rank right away, at least nowadays. But obviously, if you want to learn a champ, it's good to go normals first. So you said like specific situations in general, like your strengths are in the early game. So do you struggle to have like the game-winning impact sometimes in late game, or
Yeah, to snowball.
snowballing? Like,
That's why.
so like mid game, you would say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in the
Like,
late game, how would you rate yourself there?
mm, I mean, late game is it's difficult for me to like to get the flanks,
Mm-hmm.
especially when we're a bit even or a bit behind. So I don't get enough vision to get a nice flank or something,
Mm.
and I just don't do enough in fights. Like sometimes I have less damage than my team. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I guess we'll see. Um, yeah, I don't
So
know
I
how
have.
many of my other coaching sessions you've watched because I always ask, what do you think mechanics are?
Oh, I didn't watch.
Okay, so what do you think mechanics are then?
Mm, yeah, that's
Or what would you say defines good having good mechanics?
like knowing your champion. I
Okay,
think. Like,
that's one part, and the bigger part is playing around all the abilities in the game, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's such a huge part of it, and but you really need to have that in your head and really be mindful and play like it, because oftentimes when you watch people and they play, and then they just, I don't know, run into certain abilities or whatever because they're basically surprised by them. Having complete mindfulness of the abilities that you're facing, it's just gonna help you so much in making the right decisions, right?
So you mean like if you know the enemy Malphite has R, you have to like think about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. You have to space
Okay.
differently, or like let's say you're running up on Emilio or whatever. You know that he's gonna throw out his Q, so your main focus should be on just dodging it, so you can still run him down. This kind of stuff, of course. And then maybe also, I don't know, let's say last game, for example, I had a Rakan with me, right, on my team. Also just playing around his abilities, like sometimes moving up and then letting him eat to me so he can get into double range. Like, obviously, it's something you will just have to get like with experience and whatever, but I think a good way to learn this as well, like where I learned a lot of this kind of stuff, is just watching good players play the game, right? Because all the people in those games, they usually play their champs at a very high level. So, like, especially like Mid-Beast videos, I watched a lot of those where he just reviews good players, and you just see how the game plays out and like what kind of plays people go for. I think you can learn so much from there, especially about limits and whatever.
Yeah.
I can definitely recommend watching this kind of stuff if you have enough time. Are you using any jungle timer app?
Yeah, I use Professor, I think.
Okay, that's good. Wait, have you just started using it, or have you used it for some time? I'm just wondering
No, I
if you've
use it for
noticed the
some time.
impact. Okay. All right. So I guess we can go into the OPGG then. Overall, well, let's just go for solo duo, I
Yeah, that's
guess.
better. Yeah.
Overall, I would say your CS number is obviously not very high here, but since it's like something that you've, I guess, improved a bit, right? You started out, of course, the champ was completely new. I'm sure the numbers were generally low. Yeah, even just scrolling down here, right? They're usually around 5 or like maximum 6, and now if we're scrolling up, there's definitely more games with over 7 and whatever, which is fine.
After that, like the losing streak and the break, I think my
Yeah,
mental
definitely
bit
the
better
break,
now.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that helped.
And I played a lot with like solo queue and then with friends, and I share my screen and we talk about different things, like don't focus on
Yeah.
the game. So that's maybe a part of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I try to avoid that now.
Yeah, I mean, if we're okay, I see you're also doing red with this guy.
Yeah, yeah, was like he's an old friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do it, I think having something like Volibear with setup is definitely nice for Ekko, for sure. So just so you can get easy kills oftentimes. Yeah, like your devs are obviously a little bit high. Again, probably also because when you're new to the champ, of course, you just need to learn and that kind of stuff. It's definitely improved if I'm just scrolling down a bit here. Item build white red. You told me you really like playing with the tenacity. I think it should be situational. Generally, I think boots and futures market have more value most of the time, right? In these games, I can actually understand against a Mumu, and like against a Mumu plus Ornn, red Ornn also steals tenacity from you. So against these two champs, completely fine that you take this. In this game, also fine, honestly, with like point-to-click CC and then yeah, more point-to-click CC basically. In this game, honestly, fine as well. Okay, like in all of these games, it's actually fine. But you told me, yeah, for example, in this game, I wouldn't have taken it. Yeah, like this is the only game I guess from the in this one as well. I think in these games taking boots and futures market is better. Futures market, I don't know. I guess you've played with it here before, or did you play with Cosmic Insight?
No, I played with the futures market. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't you like? I feel like it really just helps you so much to finish items oftentimes.
Yeah, true.
Right, like as I said, I think playing with this setup is completely fine if you need the tenacity, and in a lot of these games, it actually makes a lot of sense. But just be flexible with it, I would say, right? If you feel like you need extra tenacity, then go this rune setup, and if not, then definitely just go the futures market. It should be your baseline, in my opinion. Let's see, item build wise. I guess here Lichbane.
Yeah, I
Is
just started, but yeah, it's difficult for me.
I think both are very viable. I mean, generally, I think both are completely viable, as I've been saying for a long time now. I think you can play with whatever you want, with whatever you like playing, to be honest. Especially now after the Lichbane buffs, I think the difference is really small. It's just different utility, right? Like the Nashus is just more attack speed, more DPS if you're allowed to attack targets. And then the Nashor or the Lichbane is just more movement speed, but it's better to get onto enemies you might have trouble getting onto without the movement speed, and it's just a bit more burst, of course. So, but damage-wise, I think they're both very similar if you just are good with like the playstyle. So yeah, I think item building-wise, you're not doing any mistakes, in my opinion. Let's see, like the boots maybe. No, but as I said, right, they have so much CC. I would even, like in this game, for example, I would personally probably even build mercs, unless I'm like, I mean, you might have been Giga fed here, I'm not sure. But, yeah. Like, sometimes when you're, especially when you're ahead, it's actually better to build more defensive stuff, you know? Because you don't even need the damage.
So not give away the shutdown.
Exactly. And like you don't really need it. When you're already like one whole item ahead, then it doesn't matter if you have defensive boots or not, and the defensive boots usually have more value, especially into like point and click CC champs like these, right? So, just for the future, but who knows? Maybe you only got some of those kills because you had the extra damage. Can't really know it. So I guess let's look at your League of Graphs as well.
Maybe put it on only solo queue or not?
Yeah. Actually, a bit better stats here as well. Yeah, I think duel's win rate could be higher, of course. Realistically, though, with like with only having played 185 games overall on Ekko, or like 90 in ranked, it's not a problem. I think this is definitely very decent duel's win rate. You can get it up to like 80% or whatever if you really know your limits, but that's just not realistic. Here, I guess it's good. You have less average deaths than the average Platinum Ekko, so you're already doing well there. It still could be lower, but it's definitely not like a outstanding problem or anything. Overall, right, like if you see this, like you're basically just above average in most stuff, it just means you need to play more and you will climb. Okay, this is definitely a bit of a problem. I don't even know why is this happening? Why do people have less minions early with Ekko? It's so interesting. Yeah, I guess maybe you said, right, you're very active in the early game with your ganking and stuff.
Yeah, and then like in the mid game, I'm struggling a bit to fight or to farm.
Yeah, probably need to choose farming, and oftentimes then, right, like that's just the consistent. The farming is just the consistent thing that you have in your control, right? Like fighting is just, like, or forcing to fight is just coin flipping a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Or just skill checking enemies. So that's obviously a fun playstyle, but it's just not the most consistent. And having more farm will just make the game easier, basically. Yeah, I mean, these stats not very important. Let's just see if you're someone that surrenders a lot. No, that's very good that you don't surrender a lot overall. Alright, I don't think we necessarily need to check if you can clear the jungle. I think in Platinum you should be able to do that, so I guess you can just go into a live game. Yeah, I mean, there's no real stats that completely, or obviously the CSing could be higher, as I said, but in the last two games, for example, you managed to have good CS numbers. So if you manage to get these kind of numbers consistently, you'll easily get to Diamond, I can guarantee you. Obviously, if you're super fed, it's also easier to clear the jungle, for sure,
Yeah,
but still.
Right, yeah.
Okay, wait, I think your M probably have to turn it up a bit as well. So what do you usually ban?
K6 at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's really strong.
Yeah, I haven't even played against him after they buffed him. I legit started banning him right away. I'm not even gonna test it out and know that he's gonna win.
Before that, I banned Hackerim.
Okay, yeah, it's also...
Still, I'm struggling playing against Hackerim.
I've been getting better at that matchup, but I also used to ban him last season a lot. I think a lot of the Hackerims are not super tanky at the moment. with what they're building, right? So before they have the maw, at least, it's oftentimes kind of playable, in my opinion. You just need to, like, the biggest thing I feel like is to dodge the ult with your E. Oftentimes, he basically has no CC. Of course, he still has stupid damage and that stuff. So it's never an easy matchup, but as long as you're farming well and you're not falling behind it, you usually outscale him, right? You definitely outscale and hacker him as Ekko. That's the thing that you have going for you. With the Kha'Zix matchup, it's like 1v1, you basically never outscale him if he's allowed to build more and that stuff. Like, he definitely wins in the early, usually wins in the mid game as soon as he's a little bit ahead, and then in the late game he can just build very good defensive items. I mean, you can also build Zhonya's, but still, definitely an annoying matchup.
Yeah, I really don't like Sonya's.
Yeah, that's good as well. I think, like, it sounds like you have the right mindset for playing Ekko, generally. Just like, you probably just really need to make the choice of farming more often is gonna be my prediction.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It's just, you will notice how much more controlled and easy the games are if you just choose to farm and not get baited into taking every single fight you can. Well, it's also a mistake I often do, right? Like, in most of my losses, I feel like the reason for losing is just because I get baited into fighting, and then it goes bad, and all of a sudden we're super behind, right? And I could have just farmed, right? I always say then usually, oh, I should have just farmed. So yeah, sometimes you just do the wrong decisions, of course, but it's about doing them. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, just not doing them often, right? Like, getting better at not doing mistakes, of course. And making the right decisions. Have you been playing solo queue as well, though, or mostly duo queue?
Mostly solo.
Okay.
It
just recently.
Random today, yeah, with a friend.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like duo queue sometimes fucks up your MMR a bit, right? Like it changes the MMR to the MMR of the person you're doing with, or oftentimes I also feel like doing in the past few seasons when I did it, it always put me in losers queue afterwards. I don't even know why.
It's gonna be loser queue then.
Yeah, it's like they're punishing you. Are you someone that looks up your teammates or whatever?
No.
Okay, that's also. I think that's good generally. I don't think there's any reason.
I can press Control X to see the enemy team and our team.
Oh, you have like a cheater thing?
No, it's just like only when we are in game.
In game. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes look at it in my blitz or whatever, but usually I just don't think you need to care. It doesn't give you any valuable information usually, especially because Ekko is a champion where you can just win the game on your own, right? So you don't need to really know if your teammates are good or not.
Yeah.
Kayn matchup definitely a rough one. I think Kayn matchup is one where you can build Zhonya's, especially if it's blue Kayn. It's just so much damage that you can easily dodge, right, when he's ulting. And also, actually, against Redkin, it's even better almost because he doesn't heal when you Zhonya's. When he's ulting you. But still, even then, like, building Zhonya's definitely only as a 4th item.
4th, okay.
Yeah, the 4th item slot is like the flex slot, right? Where you can put a lot of items in. You can either go like full damage, so if you have Naturals, you go Lich Bane there. Like if you have Naturals second, I often would go Shadow Flame for like full burst. Then you can also build situational items like Zhonya's. Another really fun one that I've done quite a lot recently is Rapid Fire Cannon, which is I think is unironically good. Yeah, today I have such a banger video coming out where I dropped like 27 kills in Master with it, and it's actually good there. Right, like the reason I built it there was because enemies had a Jinx that was like basically their only carry, and I was just building it to get on top of her. I think this game I would personally actually go for the boots. Right, like, yeah, the setup. And you've also been liking the electrocute, I guess.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
especially
It
in the
feels the
early
best
game.
for me as well. Yeah, I think it's just you need to get through the early game, and then it doesn't even matter what rune you have. And electrocute really helps you the most with that. Definitely a game where you can think about building mercs. It really depends on how enabled the people are, I guess. Like who's strong. I haven't seen Rise in a long time.
Yeah, all right. Go.
And you also play Blue Smite. Can you
Yeah.
share your screen? Like your screen and not the application because I can't see your mouse this way.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Mm. Can you see it?
No. Oh wait, I think it's because wait, I can. Okay, so you're gonna do the Raptors path here, right?
Yeah.
Definitely makes sense into this bot lane as well. I would for sure ward against the Kane. Like he can also
Like
hear
what?
your...
This one or?
No, just where you're standing basically. Just see if he's moving in, right? So your team can react. I would usually also just ping, right? That you're gonna do that path. Maybe I usually also type I solo or whatever. So they just go to lane. Like the worst thing your top can do here is fake leash you, right? Because then they will think that you're there and you actually are there, kind of. So they give information for no reason. And if your laners are just in lane, then they get baited.
And also, I'm also thinking about using. I don't use key bindings to auto attack.
You mean like the attack move?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean definitely something I can recommend.
I
Helps
just
quite a
don't know
lot.
where to start.
What do you mean?
Like what key binding?
I mean I have it on A. I think most people have it on A. It's a very easy button to press. Yeah, like for kiting the camps and whatever, it's makes it much more chill. Definitely smite the croc.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should help him push. So you can go base because he's gonna take way too long to push on his own here, and he definitely wants to go base. Nice. I think we're gonna talk about that after. I think if you had been a bit more mindful of the fact that he has flash, you didn't have to flash yourself here, but it's good. You also broke his mental as well.
Yeah.
I usually personally don't buy the control words on my first base. I'm usually I like to be a bit more greedy. What the fuck? I like to be a bit more greedy on my first base because then it makes getting a good second base easier, you know. But generally buying control words is never bad, of course. Yeah, I think you can kill the Swain here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I thought I wasn't sure if you attacked him. Yeah, okay, that's fine that you give the kill over. I mean, I personally would have taken it, but it's
Yeah, I
generally...
already got a kill, so I mean.
Yeah. It's
And
not
especially
not bad.
Aphelios' early game a bit struggling. So
Yeah, I mean that's
maybe
definitely a
helps with the
very
buffs.
very positive mindset. I just personally don't trust my teammates enough most of the time.
True.
And like, especially the lower the elo is, the less I would trust. Of course, in your elo, it's not like you're in silver or whatever, but like, especially if you're in silver and you feel like you're playing better than your elo, then you definitely need to take the kills. Generally, I would also not clear the blue before the other camps here. I
Yeah,
know
so I
the
get
yeah, I know the reason you do it is, I guess, because now the wolves and grump will respawn closer together, but now you also wasted a lot of a bit more of the blue buff duration, so it's like it both had its pros and cons, I guess.
oh huge.
God Thresh. Definitely looked up here. Also look at the GP. Yeah, I think you can run there straight away. I mean, I think the crab will be there, but you can E over the wall and then not be seen. Or I
Yeah.
can now you will see, but maybe he's too far up anyways. Well, he isn't.
Yeah. What
Okay,
pet did I
we
need to do?
will I will talk about it after. I will just show you. Oh,
Oh,
invaded you.
did
Yeah, I
not
think
expect that.
just take Raptors on base, of course. Here, bunch of gold. Okay, yeah, just base. Which stacks are you still missing? Mid and jungle, right? Oh.
Fuck no.
Wait, where is the Swain that he cancelled you even? What the
I
fuck?
don't know.
I guess the Kane must have left a ward somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think you can go in that tier. You're pretty fat. That's fine. Yeah, just look if you can run straight bot, I would say.
Yeah, maybe Drake after.
Yeah.
I think Kane is.
You win the 3v3, I think. I mean, you're really strong. Could even look for lane gank here since the wave's kind of pushing into them. Okay.
I thought they went all in. Oh,
Maybe you can fight the Kane. Doesn't seem like it. I think just go in your jungle. I think now it's just a time where you really just need to choose to jungle. Also smite.
nice.
Yeah, quality is a little bit low right now, but I don't think there's anything you can do. Definitely good that you look at the lanes. Yeah, I think you can maybe gank him here. Just put your sweeper on now, right? You need to know, but because sometimes people leave wards where you're standing, yeah, and then see if you're being spotted. Wow, I thought that hit. Yeah, you can. I think he's gonna chase. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to see if you don't die.
Yeah, that's good. I think I personally would have just ran through the brush here and seen if he had warded, but you can fight him.
Fucking hell.
Definitely use your potion as well. Yeah, okay, that's good. Yeah, it's a bit awkward now, of course.
He's on my red probably.
Oh, he's still wants to do it. It's good that your Thresh is moving. I think you can contest. You don't have W now, of course, but go help your Ornn maybe. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, this Thresh is
Sub
actually
diff.
playing really well.
Yeah, sub diff.
How much gold do you have? Or how much do you need for a rocket belt? Can you buy it?
Yeah, I can.
I think it's actually invaded and then just go base.
Yeah, just only.
And then go to Crocs.
So base and crux and clear to bot side.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe see if you can get GP here as well. He's quite overextended. I think you can with Arnold. Just kill him here. I think I would even leave the Herald here, yeah. And just base. And you were definitely a little bit hesitant to use your abilities here. Okay.
Fuck.
That was definitely risky, to say the least. But do you actually get him?
Fuck.
Oh, I think you're dead. Oh, never mind. He doesn't
Yeah.
know. Okay. Yeah, I think just by the Sorks here. I mean, they have point to click CC, of course, but it's fine.
I'm really fat, so.
Yeah. The other than the Rise W, they don't have that much. Yeah, I think next buy should even be Magi's probably. See, like now you're in a really, really good spot. All you need to do is jungle. You don't even need to do anything. Like you're so ahead already. We might even need to take a look at one of your losses, because this game's just going too well. But I mean, there are still some mistakes, but there are definitely smaller ones. Mostly mechanical, but I mean, that's kind of what you should expect from a Platinum player. I think you can actually just kill him on your own here.
Ah, fuck.
You're smart. Yeah.
Is that right?
It's fine. I mean, definitely, I think you should just go jungle, honestly. You will heal up quite a bit, and you have red buff as well. Definitely make sure that you're not walking into Kane here now, though. Just go into your jungle as fast as possible. Do you skill your skills with control? No, right?
Yeah,
You should also...
yeah, it depends. I'm trying to.
Okay, definitely start doing that.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you might need to skill it in a fight or whatever. And you're just collecting free kill after free kill. Feels good. I think honestly could even be a good time to just go base now by the Madras and then clear your bot side. Because now, right, when you have the Madras already and then a fight breaks out, you just have better tempo now. With the Madras. Now you can kind of choose to not clear the jungle if there's a better opportunity and just let it sit here.
I thought Kane was gonna die for Phelios, but.
You know, this is fine that you started Wolves here because you're looking to go bot anyways.
Like you just said, right? First Gromp for longer blue buff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think also smite the blue, you have 2 stacks. Oh, this guy's fuming.
Every
Definitely look bot here as well. I mean, at this point, you're so fat. You can literally look for dives and whatever whenever you want.
Yeah, Kane is high, yeah.
Even have the plant here. I think you should always take the blast plant that's there, but I guess we're also gonna talk about that. They definitely know you're here because you swept the thing, but you can still dive, right? It doesn't matter that they know you're here. Just ping your team to push. Yeah, I mean they're running away, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, you can still catch him. Place a W in his path.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, you got him right, actually. Okay.
Heal.
Almost.
And he healed, so.
See, like, you really need to be aware that at this point, when you're so ahead, it doesn't even matter how much info the enemies might have on you, because you can still force them. That there's nothing they can do. That's something a lot of people, they just don't have the... Yeah, exactly. They don't really know that they can do. They have the mindset that if as soon as they're spotted, they need to abort. But if you're this ahead, then you can literally just get away with it, even if if the enemies know that you're here. Man, you're smurfing on them, honestly. Especially with the last 2 games as well. Should hit diamond in no time then.
But I think that's just the thing. I can play really bad. I think that's.
No, but I mean, from what I've seen, your decision making, whatever, doesn't seem. I mean, there's definitely some mechanical stuff and whatever we need to talk about, but overall, I think you don't go for many stupid plays or whatever. At least in this game. Of course, this is also a game that's not super difficult to play, right? They don't have a lot of CC and that kind of stuff, but still, I would say generally you're just doing pretty well.
Already TP. Who's that?
Definitely very interesting TP.
Yeah, it's no point for me going then.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Just take the crab as well, maybe take the herald. And at this point, you're just so ahead overall as a team.
Better get a lot of gold.
Yeah, take the mid wave as well, I think it's quite big. I would even push in a next wave here because your mid laner is roaming. Now this forces the enemies to just clear the mid wave again, right? So they can't move to the herald as easily and that kind of stuff. Definitely make sure to honor the threat at the end of the game.
Yeah, he played.
This guy is like, he's just on the right side of the map the whole time, moving really well. It really makes such a difference in the jungle matchup as well, right? Like the support and mid especially, kind of such an impact on jungle. And higher heals, you will notice this even more. How much gold do you have? 2.2k, right?
Yeah.
I think recall,
yeah.
especially because Drake is up. Yeah, get the red, I guess. So because you will still reach it, but wait, can you press tab again? Who do they have, like champion wise? Yeah, I think definitely a Nashor's game. You can auto attack quite a lot here. Should be able to get them. $112 gold, damn. I think wait. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
I think you could have maybe stayed on the map.
Oh.
No, I think you could have stayed on the map for having enough gold for Nashors here.
Yeah.
Right, with the camps that are up. And like especially in this situation after you took an objective, you have nowhere to be, right? Except you can just jungle for absolutely free. There shouldn't be any fights breaking out or whatever, technically. I think this is a situation where you definitely should start clearing from Grump. Right, just from Grump upwards to your top side.
Go for the respawn time, so.
But at this point, of course, you have the blue spawn upgrade and whatever, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I mean, technically this flash was definitely not worth, but it also won't hurt this game.
Wanted to kill him.
Yeah. I also do these kind of flashes sometimes, of course, if the game's won anyways. Yeah, just place the Herald mid, I would say.
Yeah, I could have eat on it.
Yeah, you could have eaten on the
maybe
turret.
next wave.
Yeah, sure.
No rush.
You definitely seem to be a pretty patient player. Okay, I mean, that Rockabelt, for example, was just completely wasted.
I don't want to give away my shutdown. Just clear
Yeah,
one camp.
I think you just need to go to the side waves. I don't know, like, or your team someone should just get the side waves. Not really good to siege against Ryze and Sivir like that because they can clear the waves. Just get the tower, get maybe like invade his jungle camp here, and then. I mean, definitely make sure if there's a fight breaking out that you can join it, but overall, Just get the objectives, and then you have a really strong base. Can get a needlessly large rod and the Nashers.
I don't want to siege. Yeah. Do I need to stay?
You could even ult back here if you want, but I don't even think you need to. Just go base.
Yeah, true.
Just chill. Like get your top side and then start playing around Drake. Maybe def the top tower as well. Right? Like this is the situation where you just need to be patient. Of course, this game is one no matter what. How many kills do they have? 2 or whatever. But I can't see 3. Yeah. So it is just a giga stomp, of course. But still, there's no reason to troll. Definitely throw a Q back, I mean. I just do naturally quick. Jesus. I mean, that feels good, right? One-shotting a red can like that. Holy shit.
Guys, come.
Team doesn't want to help. Definitely make sure that the Ornn is tanking, because you do way more damage than him.
Yeah.
You know that, right? With the 50% damage debuff. Yeah, and see, like, your passive proc dealt 1.5k damage there. It's more than Smite. I think you can genuinely just go for end here. Through mid or something, or top.
Oh.
Nice.
God. Nah, fuck it.
Actually crazy that they haven't left Eft. Like, you literally have 10 times their kills.
Bot, maybe.
No. Like, just farm for the Rebellions. At this point, you're so far ahead. But buying a pot here would be okay in like a really close. Even like at 22 minutes, usually you wouldn't be in a position in a close game to buy a potion. But generally, of course, buying it before objectives and whatever is a good thing to do sometimes, even when you're not full build. But I mean, it's basically uncontested anyways here.
We're collecting. Just FF, man. I mean, it's kind of fun, right?
I mean, yeah, this is the most fun you will have as Ekko most of the time. I mean, maybe in a bit more competitive game, I guess it's more fun if you're really fat, but still just being able to one-tap people is definitely the biggest joy. Yeah, I think we'll definitely have time to look at like another game you've played recently.
Yeah,
I guess we should look at a loss then. I mean, you only had one loss, but you had pretty bad stats there, so let's just see what happened there as well then.
my Victor inted. He literally ran it down.
Oh,
He went 0-8 in like, so.
Okay.
And when he was 0-8, he said, "Oh, maybe I'm gonna play." And so I tried, but it was already.
Yeah, okay, maybe not the best game to look at either then. And did you even have to ult once this game? I don't even know. Genuinely feels like you didn't. Dude, what KDA do you have in your last 3 games together? You have like...
It was 20, 16, and now 19. Yeah, I've never had this in my life, right?
And you haven't even died once in the meantime. Like perfect KDA. It's crazy. I mean, this was so easy, right? In this game, the way everything was just like... And you even misplayed some stuff, right? I think definitely take the Crocs here for level 16. Take the Crocs and then ult back, honestly.
Yeah.
Very low ult cooldown. Just make sure you have the Like buy the rocket belt really quick, and then buy the Rabadons, and then like the pre-items for Lich Bane, I would say. And ult your skill your ult.
Oh, fuck.
Ah yeah, just do it.
Fuck.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you're too
forgot.
late. You're
I
too
just got a
late.
ball. Lich Bane.
Yeah, this is why you
Fuck.
need. This is why you need to like get on there before, I guess. If you want to do it, just really plan out what you want to buy.
True.
But this was definitely a situation where just ulting back is good. So you're with your team, and your ult cooldown is like 30 seconds at this point. So
Would have been here now, so it's fine.
yeah, you can still just end now, of course.
Come on, let me get to 20. Oh, griefed. Fucking hell.
Nice try.
I forgot to use my champion only button. Fuck.
Damn. Okay. Solid performance though. What the fuck is that background? Is that like your friends group?
Yeah, my friends group.
Nice. That's fine. Okay. So let me just log in really quick. Yeah, fresh honor. Show damage really quick as well. Let's see. Oops. Okay, not even that much more than the Zara actually done. Oh wow, I would have expected it to be higher. I mean you just one tap them, right? So not much damage to farm if they always die. Okay. Yeah, I think as I said, yeah, I'm gonna show screen. Most of the mistakes, I guess, were mechanical. In my opinion, obviously, I also told you oftentimes where to go and that kind of stuff. But I think, especially the last two games where you had good CS as well, I would say that they definitely show that you generally know what you have to do, and that's I think you will simply just climb if you keep playing like this. Obviously, you can't expect to have these kind of KDAs every single game. I think like this game, especially, I would say the draft was also quite easy to play against, other than Kane generally. But this Kane just seems to have been not very good, of course. But yeah, generally definitely very well played. So, some fights we will see, right? But some fights you also didn't use W for no reason and that kind of stuff. But definitely most of the fights I think you played very similar to how I would have played them as well. Mostly your rocket belt usage, definitely something you can improve on. But you know the fast combo, right? Like the really fast one. But you basically never did that. You mostly used the rocket belt to just get into range.
Yep.
And often also in situations where you didn't even really need it to get into range either. Here, right, like this ward that you leave here, you can place it a little bit later. But you don't need to place it. You can do it like 55 or even later, like 58 seconds, start recalling. I don't know if it makes a huge difference. I think most of the time there's still some amount left anyways. So yeah, I'm just telling you, right? Like from the timing now you're standing here for a couple of seconds, right? Like for 6 seconds, so you could just recall it a little bit later technically. That's very small stuff. Here also you missed one of the raptors, of course. Also not a huge deal.
Yeah, but where do I stand? Like to perfect.
Where you stand is fine. You just need to throw the Q a little bit more towards you. I also fucked that up so many times from this side. Like on this side, I always managed to hit them. Just on this side, I missed the exact same one. Yeah, you need to throw it in this way, because they will walk here and stack up anyways, right? For the Q. That's why you will hit them. Yeah, it's just you need to get used. But where you're standing is correct generally. Definitely, I guess also one thing that will help you mechanically is with the attack move. You said that's something you're not using. Just start using that, get used to it. It's not gonna be difficult, honestly. You just need to do it. Here, definitely smite the Crux right away.
Yeah. I just normally I do it always.
See, because now you smited it to like 10%, but you want to smite it so it's just on the 30% threshold as early as possible, of course. Yeah, here you actually weren't looking top that well, I think, right? I mean, now I think you really looked up, but you could have looked there a bit earlier, right? But it felt like you made the decision to go there even before you knew the HP.
Yeah, true.
So I think definitely going here is the right decision, especially the way this plays out. Okay, so see, this is the thing what I told you, right? You know that, or you should assume that he has flash here, and you
What
can
I
play
do?
around
Oh,
it.
I just walk instead of E right away.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the biggest thing. You're already in his range here, right? You just Q him, and then he has to flash, and then you can follow up with his E, and you don't need to flash. Yeah, and then the other thing you could have done is even just throw the Q, like hold your Q, basically. Because this way, what happened here is basically that he's flashing your Q, but you know that he's gonna flash, right? You should assume that he's gonna flash. So just holding your Q here, he's still in range, right? If you just Q in the right direction here, he still dies and you don't have to flash because he's slowed and maybe he even dies to the return Q. So
I'm
just
really used to the combo EQ.
yeah, of course. Generally, I understand, but this is a situation where you should just be mindful. And of course, here I told you to like help him. You were looking to recall. Definitely always do that, right? Because now it's just so helpful for your own, so you can get to base. Yeah.
And
See,
this
like the Ken would have killed him for sure if you didn't help. So that might such a huge difference here. Yeah. See, the bot lane obviously they're just completely griefing with the way that how they're playing. You always just need to punish that. No good bot lane would ever stay close to the tower here. Like they should know that this is just illegal zone for them to be this far up. But they still do it, and it's good that you punish it. Your W placement here also good. I don't know if you could have placed it a bit more here, but I think generally good, and the thresh hits his hook anyways.
Yeah. But
Mm.
if he didn't hit it, he would die anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I
Was
think you
stunned.
cut off the way well. It was the basically perfect placement here. Would have slowed him for sure. Yeah, also going on the minion here is fine, I guess. I think you could have... I'm just looking. I think you could have also just eat on the Swain here, I'm pretty sure. You just walk up to him a bit more. Yeah, I think you could have just walked up to him and then eat on him, probably. But obviously you get him here. Another huge... Also giving the kill to Aphelios, definitely not a bad idea overall. As I said, I personally would take most of the kills early, I think, because I'm just very confident that I can snowball if I get 2 kills especially. Like, 1 kill is really good and 2 kills is like game 1 almost, right? Like, I think I have, I don't know, 85% win rate or something when I have 2 kills before 10 minutes. So, it really, like, on Ekko, if you know how to snowball, it's just so good. Here, as I told you, right, I would generally just clear from Gromp up. It's just a small amount of time that you're... Like, I guess like 12% or something that you're wasting from the blue buff. Of course, blue buff is not the most impactful buff anyways. And as I said, the reason why you would want to clear like this, where you do blue, Grump, and then wolves, is so now the Grump and wolves will respawn closer together. But most of the time you're not on the camps on spawn as anyways, so it doesn't really make a difference. That's why I personally like taking the buffs later. So they just last longer.
It was a sick hook.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was really good by the thread. I think first of all your W could have been a little bit earlier. Right, like I would have W'd now behind him here. You wait, like it's not a huge difference, right? It's like 1 second later. Just maybe, and also I would have placed it a bit more centrally, I guess. But generally, the idea that to put it behind him is good here, of course. I'm just not sure about the E. Let me see. Maybe you could have again walked up to him here a bit more and tried to E on him. I think the Thresh should have just given you the Lantern here, but obviously this was fine. He at least hit the hook. Really good hook on the face rush, Rice.
Rice must have been tilted.
Yeah, for sure. But definitely good, right? Always looking for these mid gank. Like after clearing your side here, just going through mid and then walking here and seeing if you can maybe gank there. It works more often than people think, I guess. Like I also didn't used to do these kind of ganks often, but they work quite a lot. And of course, if you see the Thresh moving, then definitely also move there.
What's the right way to walk? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Like just walking through the lane here, it works quite often if you have some kind of setup, especially. Yeah, exactly. Here's where I told you, right? What you can do here, I don't know if they fixed it though, because now it looks like it's giving vision here. But it used to be like you can go over this wall with your E, and then if you walk here, the crab won't see you. I don't know if they fixed it though. I think, see, like usually when you walk here and whatever, you get spotted. When you walk here, everywhere you get spotted. Just this one thing is where you can walk and you won't get spotted up here. So what you can do is just E over the wall and then walk here, and he won't see you. That would have gotten him for sure here if they didn't change that, but I think they didn't. Right now he sees you, of course he's able to walk away. Did you kill him here though? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, like he would have seen you too late. He would have still been up here, and then he's dead for sure. Oh yeah, now you just check really quickly. Oh, okay, this is a little ward. Dan Swain walked into the range to cancel you. Okay, but yeah, you have a really solid base here, of course. As I said, I think going in that tier is good because you're really strong, and it's basically you're just investing in yourself, and it turned out like in this game I think it was a really good showcase where you should invest in yourself, right? You were just making sure you're as strong as possible here, and this way you were able to just keep on carrying and getting more and more kills.
I didn't see Kane here.
Yeah,
I was
definitely. I mean, definitely a bit unlucky, I guess. Generally, you should probably just walk in a way where you see if the Drake is being, it's very close here, I guess. Yeah, I mean this has happened to me before as well. But obviously I think you get them. Like just going bot here is of course good.
I didn't see the lantern. That's like the mechanics, what you said.
Yeah. Yeah, Thresh Lantern is definitely a spell you can really play around with your team. Like a team spell to play around, I guess. You took it, right, in the end?
Yeah, but a bit too late.
Yeah, this was fine, right? Your jungle is coming up again, it's very nice. Of course, the Kayn is getting the crab, unlucky. I think not taking the controller tier is fine, right? It's not really your job to clear it. The Thresh can do it. You have more important stuff, like more gold to gain, basically. And he has nothing to do except for clear, so... Yeah, because sometimes I see people, they go for these clears and then they might even get punished because the Kayn maybe is there and the Swain or whatever. So yeah, just don't see this stuff as your job most of the time. Again, you can kind of hover around mid here for a second in these situations. Or yeah, what you were saying here, or you were looking to gank from the top side. As I said, I think I would have just ran through here. But also here I told you to sweep, right? Because this is often warded. At least in higher elos, this area here is one where mid laners will often place their wards. Like here and here. It's a bit of a deeper ward that gives good info. Or like even here, so they can see if the raptors are being done. Yeah. So just always put your sweeper on when you walk this path. And then, of course, you walk from behind, which is generally good, I would say. But this was definitely a bit risky, right? Because the way you're walking here, you don't know if this is warded, so you might be spotted here. That was like my thought in-game. Of course, you weren't in the way this played out, but it's not unlikely that he could have had it warded, right? He genuinely just didn't place his wards, I think. Yeah, he has it up, so it's just misplayed by the Ryze, right? Yeah, but generally, of course, good W placement. I guess in this situation you could have placed the W a little bit further up because you know that he's going to keep chasing. Just imagine also, like, if you're in here as well, and this plays out the way it does, you can also engage a little bit faster on him, right? Now you're just wrapping around, and you're kind of far away when this happens. Yeah, I think that your flash here is fine, so you saved the Zarya. She probably would have died without it. Yeah, no, it's good, right? Like, at this point, you just need to know you don't need to be scared of him. You're way stronger than him. You have 1k more gold. You haven't spent all of it, but... Well, he also hasn't spent 1k, so you're actually just 1k gold stronger than him. And it's good that you play like it. Like, this is how you snowball. Definitely... Okay, let's see. I think you misplayed a little bit, though. I mean, this is all fine. Definitely... Okay, you actually hit the thing there. Okay, your W placement was like something that completely was missing. It wasn't cool at the start, but after you engage in the fight with him here, your W needs to come out right away. Maybe you just didn't see it, but like now you need to place a W somewhere here, and especially now when he ults you. So because like this W is just useless. At least if you're gonna place it this later, place it somewhere in the path, right where you're gonna walk, so you get the shield.
I did not see that Syra was that low, so I thought he was going to attack me instead of Syra.
But still, always place a W, right?
Yeah, true.
Generally. There's no fight you should take ever without using your W. And here you were obviously a little bit unsure. And then the really good roam from the Thresh, of course, won you that fight really hard. I think generally in these fights you shouldn't... Your first spell should never be E, it should always be Q. Generally, when fighting, your spell should mainly, unless you need to get in range, it should always be Q, right? If you, because now you're already in his face, so and with your E you could maybe dodge his W here, for example, right? You just Q him, get the 2 stacks on him, and then hold your E for dodging a spell. This is also a way you play around spells, of course, by holding your E oftentimes, and again, as well with the first gank here on top, right, where you could have held your E. Also playing around the flash. Yeah, here, right, very good timing also to go base, but then, of course, the GP is overextended. Again, like, your W... Okay, so this is on cooldown. But still, like, now just place the W right away. In this fight, you didn't place it at all. And then also, you didn't use your Q. I guess you were scared of missing it. But still, right, just use your abilities in this fight. It's a little bit closer than it has to be, because you didn't really use your abilities. Just place it where the fight is gonna be. The GP can't really walk far away from there. And I think if you use W and your Q, then you don't have to ult. That's like the main mistake, I guess, here. Just placing W here, then engaging on there. You see, like, you're not even using your Q at all this fight. Now you use it, but just use it earlier a bit, and then, especially with the W, you don't need to ult. Okay.
I find it difficult to say when to place a Herald.
What?
I find it difficult when to place a Herald.
I mean, if you get plates from it, it's a good herald usually.
Okay.
Don't need to be, doesn't need to be perfect. You get a good amount of gold here, so that's completely fine. Again, like here, place your W, right? If you see this guy walking here, just place your W. Place it here. Then he can't keep chasing. And like, especially this is obviously super risky, the way you E under the tower without your W there, and it's up the whole time. See, like now, of course, I told you definitely go base here, because you have so much gold to spend, it's gonna speed up your jungle clear so much. And also definitely, like, second reason to go base, of course, because the Rise was gonna go top. But yeah, like, instead of jungling, of course, just go base here, it's gonna increase your clear speed by quite a bit. You generally had pretty good pathing this game. Yeah, of course, here, at this point you just need to know, and of course you knew, right? Like, I didn't even need to tell you, were looking for this yourself. But, like, you just need to know that you can kill him. Definitely one thing, definitely make sure in this fight to hit him with the return Q, right? It deals a lot of damage. It deals more damage than the first Q, and it was very free to hit here. Also,
it was gonna do a combo.
Yeah, but here you can easily do the rocket belt combo as well.
Yeah.
Right, because you are gonna be in range anyways. Like, you will run him down, you have boots, he doesn't have boots, so you, like, even upgraded boots. No need to use the rocket belt to get him to there. I mean, it's maybe not that great to use because he has bone plating, but still. And this happened also a bunch of times, right? Like 2 or 3 times where you threw the Q in the wrong direction.
Yep.
It's definitely something that used to happen to me also, but I don't know. You just need to be a little bit more calm maybe sometimes with it. I mean, generally I would say you're a pretty calm player and, like, very composed overall comparing to other people that I've coached especially, but still, like, these situations, it often just happens because you feel like you need to throw out the ability, but realistically it doesn't matter if you throw it out right away or like 0.5 seconds later, as long as you hit it. And yeah, like, the big thing here is just making, like, because I think you even had vision on him because of the red buff or something. I'm pretty sure you had vision on him, so you could, and even if you didn't, like, you were not moving in a way where it was likely that you're gonna hit him. But of course you get him anyway, so you don't even have to ult, it's completely fine. And yeah, here I think you don't need to recall, right? First of all, you have the red buff, you will regenerate quite a bit, and then also the jungle healing is not nothing, right? I think here, for example, clearing the ward is slightly risky. Kayn could be behind the wall and maybe one-shot you or whatever. Although you still have ult, so it's not super risky, it's just something I personally wouldn't do. Here you just get another free kill to collect. Again, you don't really, I don't think you need to use the rocket belt here. Pretty sure. How much CS did you have this game, by the way? Let me just see. Like,
I can look it up.
like the per minute I want to see. Because at this point it seems like you don't even have that much CS, but of course you were able to collect so many free kills that it doesn't matter. Just want to see. Okay, yeah, like very solid. Almost 8 CS. Very good. I mean, I definitely did tell you quite a lot of times where to go and whatever, but you managed to get it the last 2 games as well, so I think overall you probably know how to path generally. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? It's just mostly choosing to clear the camps and then go for plays after. I think, for example, taking this recall is definitely is something you need to think about, but I think it makes a lot of sense here to further your snowballing. Right, like you will just, it's likely that you will be able to get fights here, and then having the meta is just giving you so much value, and you're already so ahead you can get away with taking the recall here. Also, of course, the extra movement speed makes you walk to the camps faster and that kind of stuff, so it all adds up really. And then you clear the camps faster. But yeah, you're like the reason I was looking up the CS because you're kind of low on the blue smite if we compare it to the game, but obviously we're much more active gank-wise, so I'm not saying this as a negative thing, just something I've noticed, I guess.
Yeah, it's more my playstyle, I think.
Yeah.
Gank-wise.
No, but I mean that's generally good. Just make sure that after you have the items, don't completely ignore jungling, because you will clear it so fast anyways. There's no reason to let the camp sit, and especially if you don't even have your blue smite upgrade yet. I mean, at this point, of course, you're just 10k gold ahead in fucking 13 minutes, so this is genuinely unlosable. But definitely one thing here, always take this plant if you're ganking it. First of all, this is super likely to be warded. And then if you're here, first of all, this ward doesn't even spot you. And in this position is super powerful, of course. So always, if this plant is up, take it and boost yourself over here.
I think when I walked there, I was looking at bot.
Yeah. Yeah, but I even told you, right? And now they know because you disabled this ward. If they have eyes, at least they know that you're here. But even then, right? You just, what you should have done here is definitely tell your team to push right away. I mean, I think they did generally push, but the thresh didn't really help. So yeah, you could have just really dove here, and you don't need to have any respect for them. Yeah, W placement here was good. Completely cutting off his way, and then you just collect him. I think, okay, you didn't have smite. Or did you have smite? I think you did. Yeah, you did have smite, so I think you could have maybe even killed her. Let's see. Like, maybe you could have gotten behind her if you smited her slow. You know, here, smite her, and then you can get behind with the rocket belt and you return to maybe hits. But it was very close, of course, still. Like, generally well played, just... Maybe that would have made the difference, smiting there. Here again, just place the W right away. Yeah, like that's like your biggest weakness mechanically, I would say, from what we've seen, right? You're just not using it oftentimes. And that there's really no reason not to just use it. It costs you not even half a second, and then it's such a huge upside. It's such a powerful spell. It's the reason Ekko can even play the game as a squishy champ. This was definitely well played here. Just make sure you get the shield and proc the passive for now. Nice. Could even take the Raptors here, I guess, but at this point, right, like it's such a small win, so like you're able to get such big wins in basically getting a lot of kills all the time, that these small wins, I mean, you should still take them, but it doesn't make a huge difference, of course. Definitely you start, like, also start with the not skilling ult at level 6, I guess, like more, that's more advanced of course, but I think that's the kind of stuff that's really gonna improve you. Right, like
I think
being...
first I need to learn like to control.
Yeah, exactly.
Spells, then
But
afterwards.
yeah, but definitely like that's the more advanced step, but I think you should start thinking about that because generally your mechanics are good enough for that.
Yeah, I saw a video of you when you didn't. Last one. It's really nice.
Yeah, like I do
like,
it most.
Is it different?
Yeah,
Is
what
it
do you mean?
different? Like your I feel like when your ulti is way more behind when you already got it. Like
No, it's at the same position. It's at the same position.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. But it's just that people can't have the info, and that's so powerful. right? Like the value you get from it is not always that you hit an ult for free, but it's often also that people will like they will think that you don't have ult because people just don't communicate that well, right? Like nobody's pinging, oh, Ekko doesn't have ult, Ekko doesn't have ult, or whatever that. So oftentimes you will just bait people into overcommitting on you because they think you don't have ult. Right, like especially actually like in higher elo people are more mindful of the ult clone, I guess. So I think even there it baits people even more. But it's just it gives me value in like 9 out of 10 games at the moment, I would say, really. Here again, right? Like when people flash away where you're Q behind them, yeah, just I mean, here I think if you just do the normal EQ combo on him, right, then this doesn't even happen. Right, if you come out the brush, your EQ on him, at least you use your W in this fight. I think also you didn't have rocket build, okay, yeah, but still, I mean, at this point, it
doesn't matter.
with everything adding up, it just doesn't matter. Yeah, here I told you, right? I think just take your camps here to get the Natures. You're quite close to it. Now you're just going in debt for the components. I mean, it's as I said, you're like what, double his gold almost. So well, not quite. You're like 3k gold ahead, which is of course massive. So it's not like this will lose you the game, but yeah. And also here, just clear from the grump, right? Your plan should be to just clear really quick and then do something with your team. There's no reason to force, no objectives up and whatever. I mean, you can kind of do what you want, of course, here, but generally I think this should be your plan when you want to complete items. Of course, this way you can also help your Aphelios here. I think he's actually dead. Yeah, and then of course you just flash on her. If this game was a little bit closer, definitely don't do this kind of flash, but of course, with it being so one, doesn't really matter. Didn't you have? You didn't have Q or what? Yeah.
No, I threw it on the wave, I think.
No. Okay, but I think you could have positioned in a way where the return Q maybe hit him, but I mean he died anyways. But just saying, I think just going behind here and then you can still E on him. Always try to hit your return Q if you don't hit the first one, right? As I said, it deals more damage anyways. It just doesn't slow, but especially the AP scaling, right? So the later the game goes, the more damage the return Q hits, and the more important it is to go, like, commit for hitting it. And of course, mainly you use the rocket belt and the E to position in ways where you get behind enemies for it to hit. Yeah, as I said, you just don't get baited into these kind of plays, right? All you're doing here is really just pushing into the Sivir and Ryze, but you will never get through them without Nash, and Nash is not even up yet. So just very, very important to just go to the side wave here. They can't contest all the lanes. The only thing they can do is wave clear, but they're quite good at that with Ryze and Sivir, so can't really push there. And this is the kind of macro that a lot of platinum players are suffering from, right? Like this. The fact that you went bottom made such a huge... I mean, it didn't make a huge difference, let's not kid ourselves, but it definitely just sped up the game. Right, and in games that aren't where you aren't 13k gold ahead of 20 minutes, it definitely makes a difference. Especially because the outer tier 2 towers, they give so much gold.
And here I should have ulted back.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
No, I think you shouldn't even... It was later, I think, where you should have ulted back.
Oh yeah.
Because here was like, your team doesn't really want to stay here, right? So ulting back there doesn't give you a whole lot. And you just completely one-shot this guy. And this guy was also building weird. He was building Prowler's Claw with Red Can. Interesting.
Look what he has and I have. The difference between items.
Yeah. And you're 4k gold ahead, right? This can be definitely snowballed really well. This was, for example, like this is exactly how I would have played it as well. I think the way you went over here, so like no mistakes here. I think, yeah, you had to use the rocket belt to get in range, and then you just proc the pass. I mean, there's obviously it's not like something super difficult or whatever, but definitely good that you generally just it seems easy for you as well to just do these kind of like basic mechanics, especially for someone that only has played like 182 games or 85 games of Ekko. It's definitely good that you're comfortable with it already. What kind of champs did you play before, mostly?
Vi and Jarvan.
Vi and Jarvan, okay.
It's completely different.
Yeah, I mean, I also played a bit of Jarvan. I think he's definitely like, he's just a more supportive jungler. Overall, you're looking to set your team up more.
But it's the same with Vi.
And yeah, and Vi is just an
I
old
think.
bot, of course.
Yeah, it's a boring kid.
Yeah, Ekko's so much more fun.
Yeah.
Definitely made the right choice, in my opinion.
But the good thing,
0-10.
0-10. But the good thing with Vi is if you're behind, you can still be useful with your ult.
Yeah, of course. With Ekko, you can still also be useful. It's just less satisfying, I think. Like I often tilt when I know that I'm just gonna be like a support, I guess, as Ekko, right? Like I want to be the carry because that's when I'm much better personally. But you can play a bit more supportive with Ekko as well, right? Especially if you build stuff like Zhonya's and whatever. It's just really not something I enjoy. Yeah, I mean, at this point you're just farming them.
Doesn't matter how bad I play.
No, but I mean, you're not misplaying here, to be honest. Completely fine. I think you could have just ended here, probably. Yeah, here's where you should have ulted back, maybe.
Yeah, this way.
Or after this, I guess. We didn't end here?
No minions.
Here, I told you, right? Definitely make sure to get level 16 here. And then always look at your levels. That's something, I don't know, I guess you're not super mindful of that. Definitely start being more mindful of that. It makes a huge difference, especially in the early, but it's also for, of course, hitting big spikes like 16, and just in general, it gives you a lot of stats, you know? Yeah, here I think you should have ulted back because you're...
When my Lich Bane popped off, he went gone. My shop.
Yeah. You were a little bit overwhelmed with buying it. And also, of course, like you hadn't skilled your ult here, right? Of course, skilled it before because the cooldown goes down by 20 seconds. So, yeah.
I could have killed GP here. Okay, was it? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So let's look. Let's quickly take a look at maybe another game. I mean, you only have wins in your match history, right? And you told me the Victor ran down here, so and the other games are before the patch, so I can't look at them sadly. Maybe you can tell me where if there was like a game where you felt like you struggled a bit or something. Or we just take a look at this game and see if you could have still won it, maybe. I mean,
sure. Yeah.
Even of course, it's always gonna be incredibly difficult if someone is straight up running it down, but sometimes you can still make the difference.
I misplayed a lot, I think, as well. So it's
yeah. Let's see. Maybe exactly. Maybe there's just mechanical misplays and that kind of stuff. Anyways,
it's just really difficult to keep your mental.
Yeah, for sure.
Look what he did, level 1. He just straight ran it down.
Yeah, okay. I mean that's of course just super pathetic. I mean, okay, he didn't give a kill at least, but still.
True.
Does he keep doing it?
I did it. What did I do wrong? Was it this game? I think I leveled up my W by accident. Yeah. Oh,
no, you didn't. Yeah, of course, you definitely need to skill the Q. Okay, you didn't keep running it, no. Yeah, this guy must have lost the game before and was like really mad or something.
No, it was a Smurf account because his match history are like one game in a week, every week, right? And it's like every time he's like 4-19, 4-18, and that shit. So.
What a loser.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fine. I misplayed a lot, I think, yeah, so it's good to look at it.
you usually go for the gank here because you also... I think this is definitely a game where you definitely just don't go for the gank. You just recall right away.
Yeah.
You don't even go here. It's just wasted time. It's just, I don't know, 15 seconds you don't need to waste. You're never gonna kill her anyways. She's way too healthy and she has the brushes all the time, so... and she has flash as well, right? So if anything, you would ever get a flash here, and that's never worth for how much time you need to invest. I think here this is a situation where I would go for a lane gank over a river gank. Do you have sweeper? Yeah, okay, that's good at least. Yeah, I mean, ganking mid here is tempting, but I don't think you get him. He's too healthy. Yeah, but as I said, I think just coming out of base, oftentimes in these wave states where the enemies are pushed in, you just want to get into here. And usually you can't get into this brush. But if you just get into this one and let the wave reset, then they often will walk up until here or whatever, and you can get them in a W. Right, so yeah, like going through the river is often not successful. Especially, of course, if they're pushed. I mean, the Ezreal is really low, so you could look for a dive, but your bot lane is also quite low, and I think... And this situation is definitely a bit risky. And against Ezreal as well, right? He can dodge spells very easily with his E. Oh, okay, your bot lane even kills them here.
I kill him.
Okay, yeah, that's good. No, that's definitely worth. Also, flashing there is fine. I think... Do you need to flash? I think you probably did. Let's see, though. Maybe not. Maybe you could have been a bit more patient here.
Then I die, right? Because too much turret shots.
I think you actually didn't have to flash. Although he had flash as well, so I think he had... yeah, if he had better reactions, he would have maybe flashed. If you don't flash. Yeah, I think it's fine, right? Like, flashing for kills in the early game to snowball, especially if you have the Dark Seal, is usually worth. It just means that you need to be a bit more careful now, but that's the good thing about it. As a jungler, you can often choose to fight, right? So... you're not really... As a laner, if you lose your flash, you're just more of a target, but as a jungler, you can basically just choose to take less fights, or like really only take high percentage fights, and then it's fine. So yeah, especially on a champ like Ekko, to get kills generally worth. Just the later the game goes, the less you want to flash for kills, because you not dying becomes more valuable, you know? Even if you die in the early game, it's often just that the gold is worth more in you. Of course, you don't want to die because then you can't jungle and that kind of stuff, so you lose some tempo, but if you get kills for it, it's often fine. Okay, the Victor already 0-3. Definitely, I think you should just go into your top set jungle here. There's nothing you can get here, I'm pretty sure. Do you get your something here?
Not sure.
And you die. Yeah, like I think you get like an assist, but you also die for it, so I think this is not worth. Okay, I feel that, I mean, the Senna definitely misplayed here. Just by overstaying. Did you die?
Not sure.
Yeah, I thought it said.
Oh
that...
yeah, Twist Fate game. I did not
Oh, okay.
it was 6 because we were 4.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, I guess. I definitely misplay, of course, but I'm not gonna say that this kind of stuff doesn't happen to me as well, right? Like Pantheon or TF just being level 6 all of a sudden and then ulting on you, it just happens, yeah.
Like,
but overall...
My Victor is level 4, right? So
yeah, as I said, right, this is a situation where I think just... I mean, of course you get them here, but it's mostly because also the Senna just misplayed by staying on the tower for no reason. Right, now she has to walk back, but she just doesn't have a minimap. Yeah, she just keeps staying there for whatever reason. Definitely make sure to hit your E here a bit quicker, right? Just walk into her shroud and then you can hit it. But overall, I think the right decision would have been to just jungle here. Right, just jungle. The big thing is also that your jungle respawns then, right? Like now, all the time this is up, it's just not respawning. So that automatically means your CS will be lower. Up until you start clearing that. And of course here you die as well, so it's like double bad in the end. I mean, the death timer is not a huge amount, so it's not like you're out of game or anything here, but still. And this also, maybe you could have even ganked top, right? The Kiana is quite pushed up and she's not full HP, and she also has a shutdown, right? You need to look for shutdowns. Always, especially on squishy targets, you want to try and just get them really quick. I think even here... Unless you hit level 5 from this camp, you should just go top right away. Right, it's a much better timing. I think you can look for something top tier maybe, although it's a bit risky. She's level 6 now. So I think I would have looked for something top tier. Generally. Oh, you did actually hit level 5 though, okay. So yeah, I guess clearing this camp for level 5 and then going top would have been fine. Of course, the Ilawi doesn't really have a lot of gank setup, but she's quite far up, right? And the only vision she has is here, so... But Kiana's not the easiest champ to gank because of the invisibility, of course. Generally, definitely look mid here. Of course, it's the Victor is inting a bit, but... I mean, you don't get him here even if you place your W, but still place your W, right? Like just coming out of this, or like when you're in this brush, always place it out of the brush so he doesn't see. Just place it somewhere here. Maybe you will slow him if he's like an idiot or whatever, right? In this situation, I think he would have walked out either way, but no reason not to just use it and maybe catch him if you misplace.
Yeah, I pinged it, but see how many pings.
Yeah. They could have gotten him. I feel like if they played that better.
I think I died there. I'm going for the kill, I guess. For the shutdown on Twist Fate.
If the Caitlyn just doesn't get hit by the Senna W, then they're actually fine. Let's see. W placement is fine. I'm unlucky, I guess, by the... Yeah, here it was super important that you hit your Q.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the first Q you also missed, right? You were just a bit impatient here with throwing out the Q. Like the biggest thing.
And he was against the wall, so I couldn't get my
Yeah. But you didn't even hit the first one, right?
That's true.
Just make sure, like in these situations, especially if you stun him, you make sure you really hit it. Like, there's no big difference in doing the combo here, whatever. Just like missing the Curie was just crucial, of course, especially because it took you such a long time to proc the passive, right? That's even bigger than doing the damage here. Just you not having the passive makes it so hard for you to maneuver in this fight. So definitely a bit of a mechanical misplay that got punished. I think you should go bot side here, to be honest. There's two... I mean, I don't know the timers, because I can't really see them, but... Yeah, just getting your red here, right? With this, you're just committing to go bot again, kind of, so... I don't know. Okay, I mean, okay, I guess it's coming up again, so it's fine. No, this is okay. Okay, I don't know... Is this gankable? I mean... Yeah, not really, right? This is something she can always do. She has a dash, she has like invisibility and that stuff. It's so difficult to gank. So unless she's walk up until here, you shouldn't even look for a gank. So you're basically just wasting time. Definitely a bit of a misplay. Okay, wait, what's happening here? They have a puppy jungle. That's interesting. I mean. No, I mean, Puppy Jungle is not even like an off-meta pick or something. It's just I haven't even seen that they have her up until now. Okay, yeah, that's good that you punish her.
Yeah, I should have taken Herald.
Yeah, for sure. No, I guess you didn't. No, it looks, it sees in the timeline you didn't. Yeah, definitely take the Herald, for sure. It's so much gold. Maybe you could have taken the Raptors first for a bit of healing and then taken the Herald, but still, like, there was definitely enough time to take it here. And if the Kiana moves, then it's still a 2v1, right? So, yeah, for sure take it here. Would have been a lot of gold for you. I think... Wait, maybe you could have flashed on him here. I mean, he's a shutdown, right? A huge shutdown as well.
Don't think so.
I mean, he's quite far away, but you can still look for him, right? It's not unlikely that he will stay here for a second or whatever, and then you can still flash on him and punish him. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely look for that kind of stuff, because he wants to still shove in the wave. If you're here, and he ever walks up to you and he doesn't expect you to flash on him right away, it's like you can get those kind of kills often, and then you're in a position to carry this for sure, even with the 1-7 victor. Yeah, so definitely. I think it's not something I've noticed that you didn't press tab enough or whatever, but definitely just press tab, get the information, see, like, for a huge shutdown like this, obviously you flashed, right? And then you're really strong. You're almost as strong as him if you get that shutdown. So yeah, this definitely a situation where you maybe could have turned the game.
Build my E, yeah, I think.
Yeah, like it definitely can't E over this wall. This is way too big. I
Oh.
think what you should have just done here is take the plant. Wait, like one big thing also, this plant is super powerful. Like, because if you walk through the river, they see you from here, right? If you use the plant, you're already here. So it doesn't even matter if they see you, you're just in their face already. You could have easily done that here.
Yeah, I think we still fight.
And also you could have just E over here. But I think without Rocket Belt, you're not in range here. Yeah, you should just know that you're not in range. You need to get behind them. I guess you still do it now, because they, for whatever reason, stay here because they're idiots, but they should just run away. You kill them? I mean, now of course you don't have W, which makes it very hard to fight. Yeah, see, like this is a perfect example why it's so important to have W. Right, you're just way too squishy.
I greet there. Oh.
No, yeah, I mean, you couldn't really ult as well. Yeah, the TF's just popping off, of course, 22 Medra stacks. At this point it's looking a bit doomed, to be honest, but...
The game went pretty
it was, yeah, and exactly, and that shows just, right, it for sure means that there were opportunities to win it. And the biggest one, I guess, was just looking for the kill here on the TF, and then also just getting these 2 kills by going over the wall right away would have definitely helped you quite a bit, right? You would have been much more in the game, the TF wouldn't have cleaned you up, probably. Just all snowballed against you. Here you can also look for an engage over here, right? You have the Rocket Belt. Do you do that sometimes?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
But this is much better, right? Like, than walking from behind. Just go over. If they're pushing the tower, you can always look for that. And it's an immobile champ like TF. You probably don't kill him. He has like 3 levels up on you. He's really fat, but still, right? Like, look for it at least. Always go over here. With W, with the rock, but you're always in range. And if you can clear the wave, right? If there's like only 1 minion and you can clear it, then he takes tower shots and then you can even kill him. So, yeah, I assume you don't kill him here probably, or do you? Do you actually kill him?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, he's just super fat, right? But I think...
Yeah, what the fuck, where he came from? He scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. You even stun him. Well, yeah, he's just too fat, as I said, right? You're just a little bit... Or he's just a little bit too strong. You're not even that weak, he's just too strong. And the Poppy just lashed on you. Yeah. Unlucky. At this point, really just look if you can ever collect any of the shutdowns, of course. I mean, there's only 2 people with shutdowns on their team. They're both not very easy to collect because the TF is so strong and the Kiana is just hard to kill, but...
And I keep betting bot.
Now you're being spotted as well. Like, again, the rocket bolt usage not optimal, but of course it works here.
I don't know what I did there.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Like, I was about to say, maybe one thing you could do here is just ult for HP also. Right, like ult now. So you're just healthy again and can play the game more. I guess you were looking to Punisher here. Definitely, if you're this desperate in general, then it's definitely not something too... It's not like a bad idea. I guess you need to get some kills to win this game. Actually, the TF died though. Who got the shot now? Oh, the Ilawi. So yeah, she's kind of strong now.
Yeah, she is.
And she got both shutdowns as well. Damn. She just got like such a gold injection.
Yeah, I really think this game was maybe winnable, but...
Yeah, I mean the Victor didn't actually run it down, right? Like I thought the way you said he was running down, I thought he was just genuinely pressing like let's go here and like running down. He just had very bad stats, but I mean he still farmed in that kind of stuff. And Victor is a champ that I don't know why, but at 2 items, no matter how behind he is, he still deals damage. Like unironically, I definitely played a bit of Victor in my time, and I definitely don't go base here. There's not a huge buy for you. I mean you can get the boots, I guess, which is fine, but okay. Actually, since mercs have such good value here, I mean they're mostly against TF, but so they have good value. I guess it's not a horrible base, right? But it was not a strong base either, because you just only had 800 gold to spend, and your whole top set was up, right? So I think I personally would have just cleared my top set here. But it's an excusable base, I guess, for 800 gold, because the mercs have good value, as I said. I think you're also not really... Yeah, I mean, okay, you're only missing TF and Kiana, so you have some of the stacks, but that's also something, right? I think you should generally look to collect all the stacks, especially with Treasure Hunter, because Treasure Hunter stacks are worth so much more in the early game to start your snowballing.
Really
You can definitely punish him here. You have Rocket Belt. I think you could have maybe tried to Rocket Belt behind him. I mean, he flashed, but... Let's see. Okay, you don't have Smite. I think you maybe might have been able to Rocket Belt behind him here. Or at least proc the passive.
It's insane we didn't punish this fucking siege. This went on so long.
Yeah, well, your ADC is dead, right? Yeah, the puppy. It's over the wall. It's kind of hard to punish, honestly, for you. Your team doesn't have very good engage in that stuff, so it's just not that easy to punish, honestly. And you can only play these fights with your W at this point because you're not very strong, or like not stronger than anyone. Like the weaker you are, the more important it is to use your W. Of course, you always want to use it, but like some fights you can't even play without your W if you're not much stronger than the enemies. So.
What is doing here? I just don't know what to do in this.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you're 10k gold behind, right? You're very, very behind. It's definitely a very low chance to really win this game, but with how long it went on there... I mean, as I said, right, there were chances. Of course, you get some free gold. Very nice. Just need to make sure to get out of here now. Oh, okay, she flashed on you. I think definitely just be more decisive and just run away, right? After this, there's no reason to stay, just run away. And these steps are basically what killed you here. Kinda well played by her, honestly, but still. You could have been out of there. I don't think it would have made like the game-winning difference, of course, not dying here, but... I'm sure you know that dying generally is of course not good, so... I'm just telling you. Let's see if there's some... One big thing that I guess people just don't know is the W, right? You can't place the W. If you place it right away from out of vision, they don't see you. Like at max range, they won't see you placing it. That makes such a huge difference, right? Just while walking out of base, just place the W here. And she will not see it, and then she can't really react to it as well. It's like you're placing it from out of vision because it's at max range. And also, yeah, this W placement, of course, it was like generally not very good. Like it's on the inhib, it's so hard for you to even walk in there. Just place it more here, and then you can maybe even get them. I mean, this siege is kind of illegal, right? It's just two of them. The puppy's half HP. If you have your W placed better here, I think you probably kill them. Your Caitlyn's also gonna be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also not gonna act like I would have went mental this game for sure as well, right? And not probably played at my best abilities either. It's just it's easy to say, of course, when you're just watching it and you're not really emotionally attached to anything here, but
I think it's good to look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Like generally, there weren't many opportunities for you to win this game, but there were some, right? And we talked about them where like you could have just. You really need to see, like, you just need to think how to win these kind of games, right? Like, of course, you can just accept the loss and tilt and whatever, but that's not gonna get you anywhere, right? So just think what are the ways to win, and the best ways to win is usually just collecting shutdowns. Right, at this point, your biggest objective should be to collect the 700 gold from Ezreal, and it should be doable generally, right? Because he's very squishy, hasn't built anything defensive. So you don't. It doesn't really matter that he has, like, of course he also has 2 levels up on you, so he is a bit stronger than you. But with some of your team, you might be able to kill him, and that's like basically the only way to win these kind of games at this point. Just collecting shutdowns over and over again. With Ekko, like in general, of course, your team here, I think it has decent wave clear, right? And they don't have the best champs for sieging either, so. That's probably why the game also went on for a little bit longer than it should have with like a 10k goldie, but that's also a strength of Ekko, right? Especially for a jungler, he has very good wave clear with his Q. Maybe you should have looked to get on the TF quicker here, probably.
I was greedy for my.
Yeah. I
Okay.
know the feeling. Just always have the lookout here, right? Like, yeah, if you
Field is
place the W
100%.
behind him here and then just E over the wall a bit earlier, where he's not so far away, I think. I mean, do you get him here still? No. Yeah, I think you probably kill him here then. I mean, he doesn't have a shotgun, so he's not your main target, but of course, killing him is nice for the Magi stacks and whatever. Right.
Yeah, I almost killed him. Thought I could have killed him. The Senna.
Yeah, it's close. Good that you, but it's good that you use your ult offensively. Like up until this season, I often didn't even use my ult offensively. It was really when I first started looking at like how really good Echoes play, and I saw that they ult offensively so much that I was like, I need to start doing it as well. And it's not that difficult
Really
most of the
same
time.
For me. I had the same.
Yeah. Did you place your big thing? Of course, place your W before ulting back, right?
Yeah,
You have it up here. That makes such a difference. Just place the W somewhere here. Like first of all, you're placing your not placing your W at all in this fight is of course a big mistake. But just if you know that you can ult back here, just place it. It doesn't like even placing it right before ulting. At least then you will have it like a second later, right? When you're there. That makes such a difference. So definitely get into the habit of doing that. I mean, obviously you will not do it every single time, but most of the time when you look to ult back, then you should also place the W where you're gonna ult. You don't even need to stun, you just want the shield. Because usually when you're ulting back, you're obviously in a situation where you're mostly inside the enemy team, so you definitely need the shield. I mean, the enemies are definitely giving a lot of shutdowns, right? Is he even dying here? Damn, like this game, honestly at this point it's winnable. Like this Ilawi is very strong. And they don't even have that much, right? They have the bot in it, which is obviously annoying, but at the same time it's also more farm for you. Okay, if they... Where did she execute? What the fuck? Did this guy just go AFK? Did he have a timeout?
No.
What the fuck?
Just
Okay.
died. Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's why, because it was a crazy chat.
No, okay, I can imagine. Yeah, well, of course, not much to do there, but technically just the init being open is, in this situation, is just more farm for you because they can't really end. Okay, now you're obviously in a little bit of a difficult situation between all of them.
I did not know where to go.
Yeah, I mean, is there any way to get out here? I think maybe just going over here and then trying to get the plant maybe it's just rough. Maybe you could have just went up here and tried to recall sneakily or something. I don't think they still had vision of you, right? Like how long did they have vision? They know you're here. Maybe after it runs out, try to sneakily go over here. But yeah, okay, it lasts for such a long time, damn. Yeah, I don't think there was any way to really get out there, honestly. Maybe with flash or something, but
My mistake to get caught there.
yeah, honestly, it's just a rough game. You just need to accept that you can't win every single game.
Yeah, true.
It's always gonna be there's too many things that can happen. Like not even pros win every single game, even on like platinum or whatever, because sometimes people just run it down.
I missed my fucking Q.
Yeah, that definitely like the reason it hurt you so much is because you didn't have the passive, right? Passive proc. That's like the biggest thing, especially in late game fights where you often just need the movement speed to stay alive. Yeah, it would have made, and it would have killed her, of course, but also
yeah,
just
100%, yeah.
you would have just been able to run on top, like up here and whatever. Definitely unfortunate. But like, that's obviously nothing I can help you with, right? First of all, I also miss Qs all the time, like even the best Echoes miss Qs. And it's just something that will happen as well. The big thing, of course, is just to, if you miss Qs, try to at least hit the return Q. Like in this situation, there was no return Q to hit, but generally, of course, right? Like always try to make the worst of like a bad situation. I don't know if Senna should be your main target here.
Who else?
I mean, yeah, they're all kind of not easy to kill because you're not super strong, of course. But because she like the Kiana's going in your team alone, I think she should just be your main target here. Because together with your team, you might just be able to pick her off, right? And as you can see, you're not really strong enough to like you don't even tickle her here. You just need to ult back. So just group up with your team, try to focus people down that troll, and then maybe you can somehow win a fight. Right, like this was closer than it should have been for the 10k gold lead. And if you just burst down the Kiana right away here with your team and don't have to ult away, then you might be able to maybe do something this fight. Of course, your main carry Inilawi is dying right away, which is a problem, but yeah, if you just burst her down here and then you're with your team, like your team is quite healthy. I mean, you are with your team now, but you don't have ult, so much harder to play the fight, of course. And no, you can't really do much. Definitely use your W somewhere here, right? Yeah, definitely use a W when you're in the... I mean, obviously I don't think you can really kill anyone here, whatever, but also I don't think that rocket belt did anything for you here.
Yeah,
I would have personally just tried to... Did you execute?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, at this point it doesn't really matter though, right?
True.
So, I would say I would just try to one-shot the Senna here or something, if anything. Right? You could just W here. They're gonna walk here. The Senna is a little bit low, and if you hadn't rocket belted before as well, then I think you can just one-shot her here. Maybe even after using the rocket belt. Yeah, just W here. Obviously try to dodge the Ezreal Q. It's not easy, but yeah, like generally just standing like here, whatever is, he's probably just gonna Q straight in here. Alright, let's see how he's queuing. Is he even queuing? Oh, he's not even queuing in here. So you could have just stood here, whatever, waited for the Senna, and then maybe tried to one-shot her. Like, executing here, you're still dead for 40 seconds, and they can push away. They didn't even end, wow. Yeah, it's like, but it's not a huge value, right? The 300 gold really don't matter. Of course, generally just taking, or like getting time out of them is not bad, but I think getting a kill here would have been a bit more valuable, especially because you obviously need the gold. Right, like, if you manage to get to Rabadons this game, then I would say it's definitely very winnable. By the way, someone in chat is asking if Shaco is like a good OTP. I would say if you're a pedophile, then he's a pretty good champ. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this game here, so.
No, but like Shaco is also very bad at the moment. I don't recommend him. He might be kind of good with the new items, but definitely one of the weakest champs in the game at the moment. And I don't know, like genuinely mostly just weirdos play this champ. I'm not gonna say everyone that plays Shaco is a weirdo, but a lot of the one tricks are a little bit sus. Yeah, definitely a rough game to win. There were not a lot of chances to win, but I think there were some. Right, and the enemies definitely gave a lot of shutdowns. Someone in chat is also asking, what are your thoughts on Rabadon's second after Proto Belt? I mean, it's not something you can usually fit in your item build path, you know, because the items are just so expensive. But if you can afford it for some reason, because you got a lot of kills or whatever, it's something you can buy. But also, you need to be sure, of course, that Rabadon's, the only thing it does is give you damage, right? No amount of utility, right? Like the Naturals gives you movement speed, attack speed, Lichbane gives you movement speed, so you're definitely missing that. And oftentimes you're also not able to buy boots when you want to have an early Rabadon, so yeah, I think generally it shouldn't be your core build. The core build should be Rabadon's third. It's so easy, it's so hard to curve into because these items are just so expensive, you know? In the early game you usually have a much easier time buying items like these than buying needlessly large rods. That's the main reason why you go Rabadon's third and not second. Okay, are there any questions you have?
No, I don't think so. And if I came up with some, I'd just ask in the Discord.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, that's cool. So I guess let's just recap the main things you should focus on. Of course, definitely like the W usage, there were just simply some fights where you didn't use it. I guess I can still. I mean, I think you know generally how the rocket ball combo looks, right? But I'm still just gonna show you really quick because we have some time, I guess. Also with the like skilling, of course, right? Start skilling with your control for sure. Just especially because sometimes in fights you might need to skill really quick and whatever. But as you said, that's something you already started working on.
You know, like 50-50, so
Yeah. Just make it 100%, I guess.
yeah, true.
What else? I mean, yeah. Sometimes I guess be more patient with your cues, right? Don't feel forced to throw them out. It's much more important to hit them than to throw it out half a second earlier than you could. Yeah, then you need to know like, yeah, you know what I mean, right? You don't make sure you hit the abilities over throwing them out on cooldown. Yeah, like pathing wise, I don't know. Obviously, the last few games you played, you had very good CS. Just make sure you keep them up. Of course, in those games you also had really good CS because you were just generally really strong and cleared the camp super fast. But I think overall, you made the right choices in general. And yeah, like with the rocket belt, the big thing is just if you learn this combo, doing like this combo where you do the quick rocket belt and then auto attack, it's really gonna get you so many kills and you're gonna look even better mechanically. But I would say mechanics are definitely something you're quite good at, especially for your elo. So it should easily get you to diamond, I would say.
It's like EQ, pro the belt, auto, right?
Yeah, basically like this. Actually, let me just show you like how it looks in game because it never looks like that in game. I will just show you like a video really quick. On the dummy it doesn't even look that fast, but in game it can look much faster. I had it in like my last highlight video. I had a kill like that. Just gonna pull that up really quick. Was it here? I think it was. Right. Sorry, my browser is always so incredibly slow.
No problem.
It's like, okay, where is it? Wait, was it even in this game? Yeah, I think it was. Oh yeah, it was here. Yeah, right. See. Oops. See, like here. This auto attack cancel, right? Like this is how it looks when it's really fast, and then they can't really react to that. And sometimes I've even been able to, I don't know, one shot Zillions or whatever, and they don't even manage to ult themselves because it's really quite fast. So if you manage to do these kind of combos really quickly, like people will definitely be impressed, I guess, in your games. And it's obviously also gonna just help you get kills.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I guess if you don't have any more questions, I will end the recording.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay.